Alaska, the last American frontier. Majestic landscapes, vast wildlands, beautiful. The last American frontier, however, has many of the challenges of typical rural areas, but to a greater extent. Rural areas in Alaska are extremely remote, and transportation options are limited. As one travel brochure states, travel in Alaska is unlike anywhere else. Getting from point to point is a worthy endeavor of its own, a romantic appeal to a very sober reality. Alaska is arguably the least connected city in terms of road transportation. The road system covers a relatively small area of the state, and the capital of Alaska is not even accessible by road. The rail system runs through to only several well-populated cities. It includes a 60-mile stretch of track along an area that is inaccessible by road and serves as the only transportation to homes in the area. Many cities and villages are accessible only by sea. The Alaska Marine Highway, a well-developed ferry system, serves only cities of the southeast and the Alaska Peninsula. Communities not served by road, track, or sea can only be reached by air. Commercial services are limited to highly populated areas, and the most rural communities must rely on expensive chartered bush flying services. When fuel prices reach up to $5 per gallon, however, transportation, among other needs, becomes a challenge for those who can't afford it. The reality is, people can't easily leave and go somewhere else. Rural communities generally have poorer populations and often do without typical amenities. Of the nearly 700 residents in Galena, 35% lack a fully functional kitchen or adequate plumbing. Extreme temperatures range from negative 64 degrees Fahrenheit to 92 degrees Fahrenheit during the year. Sustained temperatures of 40 below are common during the winter. Often, it is difficult for families to stay warm, let alone keep equipment thawed for use. Like much of rural America, Alaska has its share of social issues. Alcohol use and abuse have led many small communities to have outlawed its import. Alcoholism contributes also to many other health problems like suicide, fetal alcohol syndrome, domestic abuse, and violent crimes, all of which are at notoriously high levels in the state. Unemployment is commonplace. What jobs do exist come from the resource and civic industries. Since there are many prospects in health and education, advocates for rural health find potential in these areas to support communities while improving the health of the population. Because Alaska has limited opportunities for higher education, many young people leave the state upon graduating high school, resulting in a brain drain for the state. While communities hope for their return, many educated youth choose to remain in the lower 48. But options do exist. The College of Rural and Community Development at the University of Alaska Fairbanks provides academic and vocational education and distance outreach that promote workforce preparation, economic development, lifelong learning, and community development throughout rural Alaska. Particular emphasis is placed on Alaska Natives and underserved communities. The college's Health Programs Department targets village-based healthcare industry workers through education and services. By partnering with the tribal health system and 6 regional campuses, the department offers intensive-style and blended delivery courses. Programs are offered in traditional classroom settings as well as distance delivery. The Health Education Training Center grant from HRSA allows the college to provide services that address persistent and severe unmet healthcare needs in rural areas. Activities supporting HETC objectives include health professions education programs for local communities and service training for community-based health outreach. Programs offered include summer camps, college prep courses, and college-level classes. During the final year of the grant, CRCD educated 842 students with 80 total classes. The grant provided training for many rural students and made a tremendous difference. One of the ways was through the Galena Summer Health Careers Academy, a college prep program for Native Alaskan youth. The academy was composed of various components, including career options, site visits, job searches, medical ethics, suicide prevention, life skills, and academic skill development.
Researching an optometrist was pretty interesting because I got a chance to look into a job I thought I'd never be doing, and I actually kind of liked it.
I didn't really know that much about veterinary medicine, except that it involved treating animals. I now realize that it involves so much more than that, and it seems like it would really be a good career to look into.
The writing-intensive portion required that students keep a journal and complete a 3-page research paper, a daunting task for one student who had never written more than one single-page paper. Speaking skills were also cultivated through formal presentations, group discussion, and reflective feedback on the learning process. Teamwork and collaboration was a significant focus of the program, which supported community-style learning to strengthen group cohesion. Students were asked to participate in problem-solving work groups designed to examine health issues. They were also asked to assess their learning styles, critique approaches to teaching, and reflect on group communication. The program also incorporated an approach to teaching that was developed by the Alaska Statewide Tech Prep Board. Academic, technical, and social skills were combined within the Summer Academy and were intended to introduce intellectual concepts as well as transform attitudes and approaches to learning. Students were not only exposed to research, but skill development and emergency care, which provided opportunities to demonstrate knowledge and practice social development. The overall program provided contextual and integrated learning that allowed students to see how their education is applied in the world of work, and it was nothing less than transformative. Students gained confidence in writing and research, learned patience and planning, and practiced accountability and encouragement with peers. Courses supported by the Health Education Training Grant are ongoing. As the funding cycle is ending, the college struggles to find funding to continue to support education for this population in need.